thing that, when I talk to like really good marketers, that they say is that it doesn't matter what you're marketing, that you're talking to people and that they all have the same sort of like, there's a certain way of communicating, right, to get your ideas across. So talk to me about like, about that a little bit. I mean, when you're writing a blog piece or you're building a drip campaign and you're talking to, in this case, right, most of our customers today are mortgage specific, home buyers or loan officers or whatever. How do you do that? How do you put that hat on and write that copy?
Yeah, and I mean, you bring up a really good point, and I think that it's something that's gravely lacking in the mortgage industry is an understanding of the industry that you're in. And I think this industry traditionally in the marketing space um, has been, okay, just provide the flyers that the salespeople are asking for. And in most industries, and I'm not saying either one is right or wrong, but in most industries, the marketing team gets together, they collaborate, and they brainstorm on what is actually going to sell the product or service that the company is providing. And then they give those materials that are going to be effective to the sales force because they have the marketing brains to know how to sell it. This industry was a little bit backwards when I walked into it, and it was just provide what the sales force is asking for, even though as a marketer in your head that that's not really effective. So I was taught very young in my career. It's the old advertising adage of take the lipstick home. You take the lipstick home, you wear it. The pantyhose, you take them home, you wear. Whatever the product is that you're selling, you either need to try it or you need to study it and understand it. So to be a marketer in the mortgage industry, you need to know as much as possible, just shy of actually originating a loan yourself, in order to communicate well with your audience. So you need to, and that way, and it's one of the first things I did was diving in on, okay, what's the actual process? How do you originate a loan? What are these things? And studying the terminology, and I'm constantly learning about it because you're never fully there, especially in a complex industry like we are in. But the more you understand it, the more intelligently that you can market the service. And if you don't know anything about it, especially in a financial services space, your marketing is going to be lacking. So I made sure that I'm up to speed on everything that's going on, from products to compliance, anything trending in the industry, statistics. All of that is going to help me prepare my team to better communicate to the audience, and that's resulted in far more powerful marketing.
Yeah, it's a bit of it takes more time. I think you might agree, but most of the time, especially when dealing with loan officers, right? They wanted the thing that they knew,
Yeah.
but that wasn't what was best for them at the end of the day. And it takes somebody, not from the outside, but somebody who's dedicated to the marketing aspect of the business to get in there and actually take the time to understand, in this case, if you're marketing to the home buyer, the consumer, or if you're a branch manager and you're dealing with putting out fires and trying to help your loan officers originate, you may not understand what recruiting new loan officers, what they actually want, or how to get that message out there. And so you went from another industry disconnected from the mortgage space, and you just I guess Aaron and you talked, and he took a flyer, and you bet on yourself when you came over to Geneva because, and I don't, we're not talking about the details, but a big piece of how you were paid was tied to your success. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's for lack of a better word, that's ballsy,
Yeah.
And so talk to me about when you first came in day one, I mean, what were you focusing on?
Well, I've been in some fashion, either adjacent to or in the real estate and mortgage industry since 2007. I was in 2007. right as the crash was occurring, I had just acquired a bunch of realtor clients and real estate development. And so when that shift occurred, I said, okay, I can either get out or I can teach them how to survive.
Yeah.
I had quite a bit of experience in the space and understanding. And then I worked for a mortgage company. And then when I started to talk to Aaron, the CEO of Geneva Financial, I had some requirements to walk in because of what we just talked about, you and I, about marketing teams not understanding the industry and just letting the loan officers actually, essentially do what's not best for them. So I really needed a clean slate and to build something that was going to benefit the originators without them having to have a fear factor of a team that doesn't know anything about the industry, shooting out communications that might embarrass them.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that's the reason that loan officers want to have control over marketing and messaging, is because a lot of the teams don't understand the industry and they could shoot something out that is not accurate, something that could risk them getting an EPO. So those are the types of things that you need to understand. And so when I came in, one of the things that had always frustrated me was originators always had to opt in. And that counted on the originator having to know how to get into their CRM, how to find a client, how to then assign a campaign to a client. And let's be real, no one originators don't have time for that. They're originating, they're maintaining relationships with their agent partners, with their past clients, with chasing leads. To have to do that, they have all the attention in the world, but that's the thing that gets put on the back burner because all those other things are far more important in the world than they should be. So I wanted to flip the funnel upside down and say, okay, everybody's opted in, and I could see the panic in their eyes. And you just opt out. And at the beginning, of course, I got pushed back, and I'm like, I understand what we need to do in order to grow your business through the systems that we're going to put in place. All the things that the originators and branches should be doing to grow their business, from asking for a review post-close, asking for referrals throughout the year, automating closing gifts, all the things that are going to contribute to more transactions, creating a relationship with the listing agent post-close. They've just had a great transaction with you, and they've been communicated to through our milestones that go out that have video to them. They're already impressed. Why would you not start marketing to that listing agent with the listing tools that are available? So we automate all that process, and it saves times for the originator, but it also saves time for my team.
And so would you agree that, like, by you stepping into that sort of role and removing that from their plate, it frees them up to do the things that they are strongest at?
Yeah, what I wanted to do was play to the lowest common denominator. And that is an individual that just, marketing's not for them. They love doing mortgage, and it's not that they're the lowest, right? But that's just the lowest engaged on the marketing side. And so they're just not into that, and it frustrates them. They don't want to spend any extra money on it. They're more about their relationships with their past clients and their agents,
Yep.
which is an amazing way to operate, right? And so I wanted to provide a system that they could still benefit. If they never logged in to their CRM, if they never logged into their mobile app, that there was enough automation in place that they would make money.